Hi folks, back with another Bloodborne video, part 2, continuing in Yharnam. Just gonna get right into it. Now, when you first start this, these crows are gonna be a bit of a pain. I don't think it's that you have to worry too much about going to the lamp right after defeating the cleric beast, because, well, the cleric beast is technically optional, so it doesn't hurt to just go through the area. Because you have to go through the same area to get to the first required boss, Father Gascoigne. So you don't really have to worry about leveling up that much in the beginning here. These Yharnamites, if it's your first time playing, they're pretty difficult to deal with, but they're always fun to go back to, even if, like in ND Plus and such, because they're easy to kill. They've got such a simple design, a simple, cool design that never really gets old. Yharnam is, in my opinion, one of the best design areas in pretty much any game. It's so interconnected, and it just works so well. Now, I don't think these werewolves are worth fighting. It can be a pain running from them, but they're always on your tail. I mean, they're right behind me, but it's not worth it to try and stay and fight them. Then this way, wearing like different outfits and such. Like I said in the last video, it doesn't change a lot when it comes to defense. The game isn't as dependent on that as the Dark Souls games. So, I never focus too much on that. I just go with whatever style I like. But, if you really if you really want the best options, then I guess it doesn't hurt to look for the better outfits. But most of the outfits aren't really physical defense bent until quite late in the game, such as a secret area, Canehurst, which I will eventually get to. I'm glad. What I really like about Bloodborne is no outfits or anything. Like, there's no weight system, so it's just nice and simple. It's just nice and simple. Just wear whatever you want. All of them kind of have their own advantages and disadvantages. But like I said, they don't. I wouldn't say that they're completely vital to beat the game. And here I have the hunter outfit, just your classic hunter outfit in the trailers and all that. It's hard to believe this game came out over 3 years ago. And here we'll grab some Quicksilver bullets. And for this area, from the route I just went, I just go this way. I have a weird way of doing it. I'm not going to the boss battle just yet. But this is just how I like to do it. I just find Yharnam just a really fun place. Just despite how difficult the game is, I think it's a great way to open up such a masterpiece of a game like this. And after you've played through an area so many times, you just remember all the little details, the animations. I mean, what all the enemies are doing, how they react to things, and something I always remember up here is if you climb this ladder here and run towards, sometimes if you're fast enough, if you run towards this troll here, he'll actually lose most of his health by getting hit by the fireball he pushed. That's just something to think about. And just in case you die, there's always, I like to go this way because you can open the shortcut, the elevator. It just seems most logical after you played it enough. Now, I remember the first time I played this, I just kept watching tutorials trying to figure out how to just get there, and I didn't even realize this game had shortcuts. These guys up here, you kind of want to be careful when you fight them, because you kind of want to just lure one out. You don't want to try to fight them at the same time, because it is a pain. Because they're great practice for parrying, but not when they're multiple. That just causes you a lot of unnecessary trouble. This game has some beautiful graphics. I'm normally not one to really care about video game graphics, but since it's PS4 exclusive, it's just got it was a lot easier for them to kind of work that in and get all those nice details. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but that's something that I really love about this game. I don't really care if a game is realistic, but rather if it's but just rather the aesthetic of the graphics. And this game definitely had some of the most beautiful graphics. I always feel bad doing this because the dogs are just helplessly in the cages. Sadly, but you just have to think about it's just ones and zeros. They don't give them that many blood echoes anyway, but it doesn't hurt trying to get what you can. Now these cold blood do, they will obviously give me blood echoes. And I may come back here to get the NPC to come to an area where, like, kind of like a hub in a way. Not a hub, but a safe zone. But we'll get to that. Okay, it's gonna kill that guy. Then you can always come up here and probably my favorite character in the game, Eileen the Crow. It's just such a cool outfit, such a cool character. So I skip a lot of dialogues just because I love this one so much. I'm just gonna let it all run through. She's just giving me 4 Bold Hunter's mark. Just such a cool character. I love just exhausting the dialogue. For Eileen is just really doesn't get old. You never forget a hunter must hunt enough trembling in your boots. Now, I normally don't even pick those up there. In a lot of the game, I think it's more worth it to just run through the areas if it's not your first time. If it's your first time, I'm just saying now, it's definitely worth it to just thoroughly go through every area, because it's fun. But if you're just trying to, just enjoy the game, fight the bosses and all that, then I don't think there's any problem with just doing a little skipping through. That is a bit of a bad habit of mine. Now, I've only beaten Dark Souls 1. I've only beaten Dark Souls 1, but I have a bad habit of just running through areas without even trying to fight enemies, because I just want to get to the boss battle. I usually, just because in Dark Souls, it's a lot slower, and the environments are a lot more narrow, closed in, which I don't have a problem with, but which in some cases I think is really cool design. Just a great way to make it difficult for the player, but it just gets really frustrating when you have to go through the area over and over again. So then I just start running through the area the first time I go through it. Makes it difficult to appreciate it. Okay, then I always just run out here and just go the same way so I can grab that other item on the other side. Now I'll try to split this up by what boss I'm at, but if I'm taking a long time to go through an area, then well, I may have to split it up more. At that point, I might label it by the area of the game, but I'll try to keep it by what boss I'm at. This game has some of the most amazing design bosses. I think this game has the best. Most of them are just so creative. Okay. Alright, let's see what rats I have to fight now. The Great King Rats. Throwing knives, they don't do too much in this game, being honest with you. They don't inflict much damage, honestly, at any point in the game, but they kind of serve the same purpose as pebbles, to just attract enemies, lure them out. But it's more worth it to just get pebbles. Some enemies are maybe that you just make want to fall, or just, I'm not sure, but in some cases throwing knives may help, but pebbles are mostly the way to go. This area, so there is a way that you can actually just like walk right around here, which I do whenever I try to whenever I'm just trying to rush through the game. Now again, I haven't played this much in a while. I'm just starting to get back into it, so I'm a little rusty, but you never forget the all the game's little details, where this is, all the bloodstone shards. And then I can go up here and talk to Father Gascoigne's daughter. She'll give us the music box, which I actually, a good amount of the time, I actually don't use. Not because I don't think it's useful, but because in the heat of the fight, I just don't really get a chance to. but I will attempt to. Madman's Knowledge, I don't advise using that until you're actually about to spend your insight, because there are creatures, they're called brain suckers, that will definitely take just keep taking your insight in certain areas over and over, and it can be a real pain. So it's good to know the best times to use a Madman's Knowledge. And I'm just gonna skip through this. I really do love the story of this game, but if it's just a regular old playthrough where you're just trying to enjoy the combat, fight the bosses, just talk about it a little, then I don't think it hurts to skip the dialogue. But this game definitely deserves appreciation for all of the dialogue. The voice acting is so unnerving in a good way. They really put so much good work into it. Okay, so now I'm going to put the tiny music box here. I'm going to get an I actually don't think I'll use that oil urn in this fight, because Father Gascoigne is already can get quite damaged due to fire, because when he goes into beast mode, his second phase. Now, if you're just starting the game, then I advise just going back and leveling up, but I always try to beat the Cleric Beast and then Father Gascoigne, and then head to the Hunter Stream and level up. Get a visceral attack on one of these. This part's difficult because a good amount of the time you can just expect to get hit from this guy, because he's just waiting for you to finish your visceral attack on the other enemy. A Bold Hunter's Mark. Bold Hunter's Mark will send you back to your lamp checkpoint without costing you any of your blood echoes. Okay, now I find the best place in this boss battle is to fight him on the stairs and just parry him. So I'm just gonna head straight in. Okay. Now I'm really not good at parrying him. Every once in a while, like just now, I'll get lucky. It's good to get a little combo in there. It's really difficult to be quick for this. But I do advise being on the stairs if you're a parry type of person like myself. I know some people would rather just go classic physical combat, but no. Okay. Just go through this here. I always mess this part up, and he'll usually get one good attack in on me. So I don't want to. I'll try not to get frustrated if I die. Sometimes it's inevitable. There we go. It just a lot of people tend to wonder what their real reward is for beating a boss, and I think that's kind of what brings people away from these games. But it's really just the fact that I love it, because you learn you learn what you have to do to fight it, and every time you fail, then I think it just adds some motivation for beating it. Then that makes it all the more satisfying when you do. That's what I love about boss fights. That's what I love about the Souls series. Now, I played Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, and I have not beaten Dark Souls 2, and I did not finish Dark Souls 3, not because I didn't want to, but because I just simply got stuck and then got drawn back to Bloodborne. But I do love Dark Souls 1. Love this guy. You really gotta wonder what his body type is like, because he just looks like just a ball with the cloth on him. Okay, so now I advise just going back to the 100 stream to level up, but if you're real careful, you can usually get through this area here, because I want to get some bloodstone shards, and I'll show you where those are. And for these guys, you can parry them at any time in their attack, which makes them great practice if you're just trying to start parrying. Now, if I get these bloodstone shards, then I can upgrade my weapon, and not have to make a second trip back to the hunter tree. I find it best to just wait here for this guy here to pass. Now, you need a total of 16 bloodstone shards, just plain old bloodstone shards, to upgrade your weapon 3 times. And at that point, you can upgrade it with twin bloodstone shards. So, early game, it's good to just have 16. Now I have 17, but I figure I might as well get a couple more. I'll let him get his attacks out. Okay. The more the merrier. Extra doesn't hurt. And this little way is very interesting, because this is actually the door to where we fought the cleric beast. But it doesn't open. But people have proven that that's just the end of the bridge that the cleric beast is on, and it's really just amazing how interconnected the world is. Now I'm gonna bait one of his attacks, so I can go over here and grab this item. Okay, I would try to fight him, but I mean, honestly, it would take too much time, and I've already got those bloodstone shards I need. If there are any lying around, then it's definitely worth it to pick them up, but not to nearly get yourself killed over it. Then there's a creature. Now, I know, basically, I talk a lot about what's already toward the end of the game and stuff. I should have said that earlier. Spoilers, obviously. But the creature that is making that blue I'm not sure how to describe it, but it's really interesting. We'll get to that later in the game. Now, I've beaten Father Gascoigne, and I'm about to end the episode, but I just want to show a couple things. Got a beckoning bell, silencing blank, and then old hunter bell. Okay, that's the doll that we can level up from. And here, I'm going to fortify my saw cleaver 3 times. And if, and now I can use blood gem fortification. And use these 2 slots. And that will definitely, raise my damage. And then this is Gehrman. Kind of just guards the dream, but he's in a wheelchair. Now we can talk to the doll to level up. Okay, channel blood echoes. Okay, we can level up 8 times. Now I'm gonna use some cold blood dew. Just see if we can get any more leveling out of that. Okay, now let's see how many times we can level up now. Okay, we can level up 10 times now, cool. So I'm going to do 1 strength, well no, 2 strength, 2 endurance, 3 health, now I'm gonna throw in 1 more of each. Okay, there we go. So 4 vitality, 3 endurance, and 3 strength. Okay, there we go. And now we're on our way to leveling up. Good character. And one outfit I picked up while I was back there in the Cathedral Ward was this. I personally just prefer this garb. I think it looks nice. Now I haven't really thoroughly explored the dream yet, so I'm just going to do that real quick before I end this. Now here are the little messengers. At the moment there aren't any, but you're able to collect these little hats for them. That are very, it's very cute seeing, there's just little customization for it, and I love that. I think that's about it, for this episode. Let me see how much Madman's Knowledge. So I have 2 Madman's Knowledge, and like I said before, it's definitely worth it to just save that until you need it. You can see at the top right, my insight is at 8, so I'm good for now. There isn't much you can buy here. You can buy a small resonant bell, which, you know what, I think I'll do that. Sinister bell, maybe they'll come in good use later. Alright, well, I'm gonna end that here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more, then subscribe. If not, don't worry about it. And that's pretty much about it. Definitely gonna be making some more. Love this game, love talking about it. I love hearing opinions and other people's takes, or their views on really anything video game related. Anything you've got to say, happy to hear, and make sure you comment below. Alright, that's all. Thank you, and have a great day.